Boom, now we're working. It was set on privacy, only me, just a second ago. So, on total lockdown, while I poured myself a Heineken and wanted to read something that I found pretty funny while I was doing a little purge in the jer-dog archives, going through all the files from back in the day. Hey Houston, what's up, man? It's 4th of July weekend, essentially, so I never do gigs this weekend, and I'm just hanging out on the patio, drinking some beers, and looking through my old shit that I found from college back in the day. So let me read this little gem to you. Dear Jeremy, the Committee on Academic Probation and Dismissal has met and reviewed your performance over this academic year. I regret that your achievement falls below the expectation of students at Central College, and therefore the committee has recommended your dismissal from the college for academic reasons. As of June 1st, 1996, you are officially suspended. If you have loans, you can expect that the lenders will be notified. Fuck yeah, they're notified. In fact, I'm only like 1 month away from finally paying off that student loan debt from 20 years ago. Next month, I'll finally be free of that 20 grand or whatever it was. It was a lot for just 1 year. 1 year to go to school. 1 year of fucking college. It was ridiculous. It was a little bait and switch too. They gave me a scholarship to get in there to begin with. I was like, oh shit, I'm getting to go to college for free. Meh. I can assure you this decision was not reached lightly. We have considered your grades this past term. In addition, the committee has assessed your attitudes towards study and your apparent lack of seriousness of purpose as reflected in those grades. I couldn't see that one coming a fucking mile away. The consensus was that you are not likely to meet Central's requirements for graduation and that a clean separation will give you a chance to start afresh somewhere else. Hell yeah, it did, but I was already making money doing comedy. I was already getting paid to do stand-up. And I was the house MC at the comedy club in the back of an Italian restaurant in Des Moines, doing 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, $50 a show. Thought I was a rock star. There's more money I was making at fucking Pizza Hut, driving pizzas for tips, you know. Friday and Saturday nights, kicking ass, doing comedy, already making some bank, and getting to hang out with other cool kick-ass headliner comedians that I wouldn't have been able to meet otherwise. And then about 9 months in from with that job, I was fucking fired, just like I was fired from Pizza Hut for being a double agent, working at the pizza place down the street, but that's another story. It's hilarious. No, I went out and I thought I was hot shit, spending money left and right, buying my buddies drinks, rolling around town. I don't give a fuck about college. Why do I give a fuck about graduating school? I'm already getting paid to do stand-up comedy. And then, the fucking comedy, the comedy bubble burst. You know, this was the early 90s, mid-90s, and just out of fucking nowhere, the bottom fell out of the entire industry. I was never really there to experience the golden age and the big boom of the 80s of stand-up anyway. I was just starting out at the very tail end of the fucking death rattle. So 9 months in, from September to May, after I got kicked out of college, as I was the MC at the comedy club that was in the back of the Italian restaurant, Noodles Comedy Club at the Spaghetti Works in Des Moines, gradually was demoted from $50 a show to $30 a show to $20 a show to only 1 show a night to eventually just free drinks and food to eventually finding out that I wasn't even 21 years old yet and not even able to get free drinks to eventually just fucking salad bar and fountain soda. You know, welcome to show business. But what was I going to do at that point? Already kicked out. The bridges were already burned. You know? I had to go. I had to put my full effort into it. And if I had known it was going to be as fucking hard as it is, I would have hog-sucked that manager's dick, bent over backwards at Pizza Hut just to keep my fucking job. People are like, oh, comedy's not a real job. When are you going to get a real job? This is hard shit, man. It doesn't seem like it because most people just see you get on stage for an hour or two a night at a time talking shit into a microphone. But being able to get to the point where you're good enough to do that and actually get paid consistently and promote yourself and deal with all the horse shit in the business and drive and travel and be away from your family, I fucking should have stayed in college. I still don't know what I would have done then. What I probably should have been smart about it and been in like business or in marketing or web design or something, although who the fuck knows? Well, still, what would I have done? I don't know. I'm glad things worked out like they did because I met hot Karen, crazy Karen. It was actually this weekend in 1997 when I talked her into flying out halfway across the country to New Jersey to come visit me while I was out there doing comedy Wild West shows. See, I rolled into comedy gigs. I was putting in my 10,000 hours. It was actually a better education now that I think about it than staying in college. Fucking real comedy college was doing Wild West shows, street theater. Houston Rogers was on earlier. He was doing that shit with me in North Carolina. 5 shows a day, 100 days a year for 10 years. That's 5,000 fucking shows. You're going to get good at shit when you do something 5,000 times. They talk about how you have to put in your 10,000 hours. That's really what we should be concentrating on telling our kids. Don't go to fucking school. Maybe if you can go for free, or if you really, I mean, the case can be made for going to college. I absolutely understand that. Like doctor, lawyer, whatever. There's something that absolutely requires it. But if you're going into some shit like the arts, fuck school. Just put in your 10,000 hours, get good at it. That's all it really takes. I'm probably on my 20,000 hours now, and I'm still not really that good at it. But I'm just good enough at it where I can live life according to my own terms. I can put myself out there, have a lot of fun, take off the weekend whenever I want, fucking drink and party it up and get to meet all kinds of cool people across the country. Chip Sobel, you know what I'm talking about. Who else is on there? D. Lynn Bennett. You know what I'm talking about. We've had these conversations a zillion times. Just having a few drinks out here on the jer-dog patio, getting ready for 4th of July weekend. I never do shows this weekend. I got kicked out of college for a lot of reasons, though. It wasn't just my grades, man. I did not take it seriously whatsoever. I did a prank one time. This is so fucking bad. I probably shouldn't even say it. I did a prank one time where I printed up these signs and I put whites only and blacks only on all the different drinking fountains. And then there was one that was a little bit lower to the ground. I put midgets only. I did not get busted for that, so what are they going to fucking do to me? Kick me out? What am I going to do? Not get comedy gigs because I fucking did pranks in college? Not one time has any comedy club owner ever fucking asked me for my diploma. Not one fucking time. Not one time. Oh, who gives a shit? What else did I do? I did a very offensive performance at the talent show. That's actually what broke me into comedy to begin with. I was getting dared to do that shit on stage in front of the entire student body. They said the only rule was don't curse, so I didn't curse. I didn't use any curse words at all. I was squeaky clean, but I did college jokes and people took offense to it. I refused to write an apology letter. Fuck 'em. So I'm drinking Heineken beer in celebration to the Dutch of Pella Central College that kicked me out, started me on my career to fame and fortune doing Facebook Live broadcasts for 8 people. Thanks everybody for watching and tuning in, by the way, because this is fun for me. This is like my favorite part of the day. The audience would occasionally hit us in the head with a water bottle. That's right, they would. Houston Rogers, that's right. Back in the Wild West days when we were doing 5 shows a day in amusement parks next to roller coasters in hot-ass summertime weather, wearing 15 pounds of guns and leather, completely strapped to the tits with that shit, rolling around on stage, high energy, trying to make people laugh. That's where you're going to learn your shit. You're not going to learn your shit in the comfort, the air conditioning, and perfect environment of a comedy club. You're going to learn it on the streets. Putting in your 10,000 hours, people would throw water bottles at us. They didn't give a fuck. If it wasn't funny, there wasn't anybody to kick them out. It was on the street. You either got them or you didn't. They either liked it and they applauded and laughed, or they walked the fuck on. There was no middle ground, no in between. You had to get good. I'm so glad I had that experience. I'm glad I got kicked out of college and I was able to go on the road and do that for 10 years until I started doing stand-up comedy full-time, which I've done for the last 13 years, since 2004. and it is a fucking blast. God damn, I did so much crazy shit in school. They probably should have kicked me out. One of the biggest lessons I learned about doing comedy was just being dead, honest, truthful. I sold weed for just a little bit when I was in college, just a little bit. You know, not a lot, just a little bit to make up some Christmas money one year. And when I went back home, my mother's like, "Oh, JD, where did you get all the money to get these Christmas gifts? Oh my goodness, you must have been working a lot of hours at your job. You must have been working a lot of hours at the convenience store." I'm like, no. Just as a total joke, dead honest, I go, "I sold weed." She's like, "Oh, you're such a card. Seriously, what'd you do? How'd you make your money?" "No, I sold weed." No, seriously. You have a new job, don't you?" "Yeah, Mom. I'm a gardener." That's why I learned the best thing. What the easiest way to make people laugh is just say the dead, honest, fucking shocking truth that maybe they think, maybe they don't, but maybe, you know, it's just keeping it real, and it takes them off guard. It's truth and surprise. Those are the fucking elements to doing comedy. Just being open and honest and sharing shit from your heart and keeping a sense of humor about it and having a good time, and fucking funny shit will come out if you just yap your trap enough. That's why I do these Facebook Lives, just to fucking check in with you guys. What's up, Pete? Anyway, what else do I want to talk about? I think that's pretty much it. I haven't even really gotten into the comments very much at all. I haven't trained my gear to set itself up and load itself back into my van either. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. You're goddamn right, Justin Robbins. When you're doing a one-man show, sometimes you got to pull out all the stops. You got to be willing to do the shit that most people won't do. And that includes in show business. A lot of guys that sit around, they're waiting for the big break. What am I going to do? When's someone going to recognize my talent? When are they going to put me on? When am I going to get my chance? Fuck off, mate. You got to make your own chances. No one's going to fucking put you on. There's nobody waiting around. They're like, "Oh, shit. Oh, my God." That's like something that happens in movies. Or maybe it just hasn't happened to me and I'm fucking bitter about it. But you gotta you can't sit around just waiting for your big break. You gotta make a whole series of little breaks. You gotta do the things every single day. Clock in and clock the fuck out like a regular job, and make that 0.00000000001% improvement every single day that eventually adds up to the aggregate of kicking ass in whatever it is you do. Fuck college. What they need to do is start teaching kids more about this 10,000 hours concept, where you don't have to figure out just one field that you want to be the rest of your life. They're always like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Everybody's like, "Oh, I want to be this, I want to be that." No one ever says, "I want to be happy." Do the things that you love to do. Get good at them. Find those skills that intersect that nobody else can do, that makes you unique. You don't have to fucking go into one field and just play the political bullshit that you'll find in that field and settle for average. You know, there's a lot of people who are like that. Maybe they just want to be good enough to not have to fucking work in a coal mine. I don't know. But one way to fucking be able to do whatever it is you want to do and live life according to your own terms and get paid for it is just be a little bit good at this, a little bit good at this, a little bit good at this other thing. And then when those three things intersect, that's where you're the fucking master and you're the best and you're specialized. See, I'm kick-ass at writing jokes and speaking spontaneously off the cuff. I don't have a fear of speaking in public. I'm pretty good at it. I share openly and honestly from the heart, and I like bars. So if there's just one more thing, I'm just trying to find the third thing. That's all I'm trying to do. Just trying to find the third thing, and then I'll start kicking ass. I put in my 20,000 hours already. Why can't I have my fucking third thing so I can be uniquely specialized in one skill? Who else is on? My dad always told me nothing worthwhile is easy and nothing easy is worth your while. Wisest words ever spoken to me. You bet. I fucking hate salads. Thanks. My Uncle Russ is always joining in. Funniest guy I knew. He's the guy who I learned how to talk shit from. Appreciate it, Uncle Russ. You know, for the influence. Watching me every day. Now that I do this shit, well, not every day, semi-daily. 4:20 p.m., Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. As long as I'm not on the road, I'll come back here. I'll check in with you guys. I'll talk my shit. That's pretty much it for the day. Appreciate everybody tuning in and joining in. Hit the share button, hit the like button right now. If you guys like this, hit the share button. Let me hear you. Big round of applause. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow at on Monday at 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. Adios, motherfuckers.